Hello, this is Movie Talk Take Two, um, which I hope to be the second of a long and prosperous series. Um, but before we get further into what we'll be covering today, which this is going to be a very short movie talk, no more than an hour, hour and a half, I'm joined by my co-host, Triple M. Go, Triple M.
Hey, this is Triple M, man. And let's get down to some marvelous business.
Yeah, speaking of marvelous business, recently it has come to light that all that posturing that Fox was doing about how
Yeah, basically pushing smoke up on our buttocks.
yeah, basically here's what they've here's what people have suspected. Because Fantastic Four basically bombed spectacularly, they think that Fox might work out a deal to basically get it back to get it back to where it could be. That's basically what they're saying. Now, me personally, I would like to see it go back to Marvel just because Fox has proven that they can't. They aren't good with this franchise. They've had 3 chances. They've blown 2 of them, and I don't care if you only get 33% right on a test. That's an F.
And this news is literally news to me as we speak, because the last thing I've heard about this is they were in the talks, and I was like, yeah, wake me up when that's actually a real thing. So I'm kind of giddy.
I mean, I mean, it's sad that Fantastic Four basically lost a lot of money. I mean, here's people need to understand. Fantastic Four came out in 1961, 1961-62. It is like it's a 60-year-old franchise at this point. Like, really. Okay, it's old as well, let's see, 60 here, let me look it up, get the right numbers, because don't want to be a D-bag and get the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four came out in 1961. So basically 1961, 71, 81, 91, 2001, that's right there, that's 40 years. 2011, 50 years. It's a 54-year-old franchise. And it's amazing that, like,
over the last decades, they just poo-pooed on.
Well, the first I never thought I would say this. The first Fantastic Four movie, not that bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't the first one done by Fox, not that bad. There was one done by Roger Corman that they did just to hold the rights that was never released, just so that the people who held the rights at that time could keep the rights. And that it lost a lot of money. Well, it was never released theatrically, so they just made it so that they could say, well, we made a movie, and they lost a lot of money when they did that.
That is some sucky movie.
Well, it was pretty bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it wasn't terrible. That movie was pretty bad. But here's the thing. That movie was almost a frame for frame. Like, the first movie that they released, you can find it, folks. You can find the first Fantastic Four movie on YouTube. Actually, it's public domain now. You can go watch it. It's actually a frame for frame reproduction of the 1960s comic book. Like, you've got Reed Richards and being in college with Victor Von Doom, and you've got like all that fun stuff, and you've got like them flying in a spaceship and getting bombarded with cosmic rays and coming back to Earth and getting weird powers, and them, like, you know, being all together in a family and shit. It had a lot of heart. The special effects, it was made in '95. The special effects weren't that good. It was done on an extreme budget, but it had a lot of heart. And then you had the second movie that was rather
a reboot.
That was basically a reboot. And that movie, I mean, you know, that movie came out in 2005, 2006, or was it 2007? It's the one that came out that, like, everyone was like, oh, I don't like this one. But, I mean, looking back, that movie wasn't that bad. And then they made a sequel where they did a great
hindsight is 2020, isn't it?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. That movie, they did a great Silver Surfer in the second Fantastic Four movie, but they got Galactus wrong.
Yeah.
No, that Silver Surfer was awesome. I'm sorry. That Silver Surfer looked like you'd imagine the Silver Surfer to look. The problem is that they got Galactus wrong. They got
that's
Galactus.
The only thing that actually got going for that film.
No, I mean, I will give the Fox movies that came out in 2005 and 2007 with Ewan Griffith and Jessica Alba and Michael Chiklis and Chris Evans.
I actually like the first movie.
No,
second one, yes.
You know, I'll give it to them. They, even if you don't like, except for how they messed up Galactus with the second movie, they got the costume spot on for all those characters. Even Doctor Doom's costume, like, that looked like Doctor Doom. Like, really, that dude looked like fucking Doctor Doom. It's like, oh shit, okay then, I'm gonna be over here now, hoping this guy doesn't kill me. Dr. Victor Von Doom.
Yes, I'll have to admit, the costumes was freaking wickedly, deliciously spot on.
Which is head and shoulders better than what they did on this on Josh Trank's movie that came out this year. But we aren't going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the rumor that Marvel may be getting their stuff back. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's true? Do you think it could happen?
Wait, did you just ask me that if it's true? I thought it was true.
Well, I mean, from what I heard is that it's true, but looking at the thing, it's saying that it is that it's a rumor that could or could not be true. I don't know. What do you think?
So we're still on that. Okay. I'll keep my fanboyism at a minimum for now. Gosh dang it! I hope it has to be true, because Marvel's the only thing that could save this franchise. Fox really needs some bloody help with this, man. They had their chances.
So you think basically it's over? You think they're just going to say, well, forget it. We're going to pass it along, basically.
You know what? I want to be that optimistic, but this is Fox we're talking about. They're going to hold on those IPs that they have for dear life. Yes, the only possible thing that Fox would do is what I just mentioned before this started. Have the Marvel writers or the creators of Fantastic Four be their bloody consultant and actually listen to their words. They can Fox can pick their own producers, directors, and so on, but please have Marvel be there with a ruler in their hands and spank anyone who goes off, who derails this IP.
Well, the problem with the IP is that basically, like this movie wasn't made because Fox actually cared about the IP in terms of what you're like actually like making a good movie. It was made so that they could retain the rights for the next 7 years.
Yeah.
Till 2022, or is it 10 years? No, it's 7 years. 2022. Like that's the only reason they made the movie, so they could retain the rights. And it's sad because I mean, like fans of the Fantastic Four want to see a good Fantastic Four movie. We've seen with the establishment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that there can be good Marvel comic book movies, and yet we're still getting garbage. And I know what some people would say. What about X-Men? X-Men. X-Men's very hit or miss for me. Like the first X-Men movie I didn't like. The second one was okay. The third one was garbage in my opinion. Then they did X-Men Origins, which was terrible. Then they did the Wolverine, which was also terrible. Then they did the one. Well, no, the Wolverine was okay. It wasn't great. Then they did the one that was like it was like X-Men First Class or some shit. And like people were like, "Well, I really like that movie." I was like, "Nah, I could take it or leave it." A young Charles Xavier, okay, yeah. I hate to break this to you, but in the comics, Charles Xavier's like always been fucking bald. So getting James McAvoy to play him didn't really. I wasn't impressed with that casting. That shows dedication to James McAvoy. The motherfucker wouldn't shave all his hair off.
Or more likely, Fox wanted to. Should I say rebrand? No, not rebrand. They wanted to give the young Xavier a new look. Reinvent is the word. Reinvent. God.
I don't know, man. Having a bald guy, having a young dude be completely bald and look like a fucking skinhead playing Charles Xavier, that would have been cool. But no, it's just I can't.
And even if they didn't, they were very hesitant of going all baldness route. They could have just, have the hair trimmed just enough. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, and then they did. Well, it looks like he's balding, but Charles Xavier's always been bald. Like I've read comics when he's a kid. He's bald. Like he's like a little 8-9-year-old kid. He's bald. He's been bald. He was born. I mean, he doesn't have hair on his head. It's not. Look, I'm not saying this to be a douchebag or anything. He's bald. Like he's just bald. I mean, shit. I mean,
stick to the source.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it going. But basically, Fantastic Four lost Fox a lot of money, so it would be in their interest, if not to give the rights back to sell the rights back to Marvel, to work out a deal. I mean, the smart move would be to work out a deal. Be like, look.
I mean, no. Shoot, it's happening. It sounds like it's happening with Spider-Man. So
yeah, I mean, it's in their best interest. It's in their best interest to work out a deal. All they need to do is just go up and say, look, we want to make money. You want to make money. Okay? They both want to make money. So wouldn't it be better, instead of making a movie that may or may not be awesome, wouldn't it be better to instead make a movie with people who know how to make these movies so that you're guaranteed to make some money? I'm just saying, wouldn't that make sense?
And actually keep the people happy. I mean, the ones who really would like to see a Fantastic Four movie done right.
Yeah, because I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. Like I have the comic that has the Hulk, the Fantastic Four versus the Hulk, and basically the premise behind the comic is that like New York is very important in the Marvel universe. So you've got the Baxter Building, which is in New York, and right down the street from the Baxter Building almost is like Avengers Mansion. And the Hulk is going to destroy Avengers Mansion. and the Avengers are off doing something. So like the Fantastic Four wind up having to stop the Hulk from getting to Avengers Mansion and just demolishing it. But I mean, who are you going to pit up against the Hulk on the Fantastic Four? Well, they got Ben Grimm, and so basically you get like 12 pages of Ben Grimm getting the shit kicked out of him by the Hulk for like like page after page of just the Hulk just bitch slapping him across the face and picking him up and throwing him in the stuff, just beating the shit out of him. Just Mr. It's Clobbering Time gets the shit kicked out of him. It's great.
Oh,
I love that stuff.
No, you gotta go. You gotta go in like this, Mr. Clobbering Time getting clobbered himself.
Well, I mean, Mr. It's Clobbering Time getting the shit kicked out of him by the not so jolly green giant. It's great. I love that. It was hilarious. And then at the end, like the Avengers, they managed to stall the Hulk long enough that the Avengers show up and they team up with the Fantastic Four to beat the Hulk, to drive him off. And it's great because the comic, you can look at it both ways. If you're a Hulk fan, you get to see the Hulk beat the shit out of someone for like basically 30 minutes, like 8 hours of comic book time, just kicking the shit out of Ben Grimm. Or you get to see the Avengers and the Fantastic Four team up and beat the Hulk. I mean, either way, it's an awesome experience. So why can't we get the people who have the expertise at telling these stories work out a deal in order to make this shit work? And that it's sad that we're not getting that. But, I mean, whatever.
Sad times, sad times.
It's time to move on to our next bit of news because, I mean, I think we've waxed poetic. Basically, I mean, I think we both agree that it would be best if Marvel, it would be best if Fox and Marvel worked some shit out to basically so this shit could actually work for someone, because I don't know if I want to, like, I really want to see, I want to see a good Fantastic Four. I want to see a good Fantastic Four movie in my lifetime. And I don't care who gives it to me, but I want to see it done. I would really like to see it get the Marvel experience and not the Fox experience. Because Fox, I mean, I'm not impressed with their movies. I know people are like, man, I like Days of Future Past. I liked all that shit. I'm not impressed with that shit. I'm sorry. Like the new X-Men movie, I'm like, look at this shit. They've got Ivan Ooze playing Apocalypse.
Oh shoot!
I can't. The dude looks like Ivan Ooze. He doesn't look like Apocalypse. And I'm sorry. I mean, I don't mean to bag on Fox, but come on, man. You guys gotta. I mean, like, and here's the thing. I know some people are gonna say, well, I mean, they're trying their best. Here's the problem with that. I've been to Comic-Cons with people who are making costumes on a budget, and their shit do an Apocalypse, and they look like what you would think Apocalypse would look like. Like, really, like 80s with the armor and everything, and the lisp and everything. They look like Apocalypse. This motherfucker, I don't know where they found this sumbitch.
They couldn't find an actor that's actually tall.
I don't even know, man. I don't
Really?
I don't
They
know.
could even take some of the. They could even take some of the wrestlers on WWE or something like that. Come on,
dude. I don't even know. At this point, I'm beyond it. Let's move on to the next bit of news, which is that Star Wars trailer. Now, I'm not going to leave a link in the description field, because all you need to do is just go on YouTube and say Star Wars 7 trailer, and you can look at it, and it's fucking awesome. All I'm going to say is this. I'm totally going to watch this movie. The hype didn't get me because I am a Star Wars fan. I was going to watch it regardless because I watched all those other movies first day one, the prequels. I mean, So clearly I'm going to watch this one. But that being said, I'm just glad that that they're doing. I hope they're doing it right this time. They're not going to F it up or anything. I hope J.J. Abrams doesn't fuck it up, because God knows he kind of messed up Star Trek a little bit, just a little bit. A little bit, in my opinion. I could be wrong.
Oh, we gotta talk about something. We gotta talk about this some other time. But yeah.
What you don't think he messed up Star Trek at all, or you think he messed it up more than a little bit?
No, the first one, I have to admit, for me it was kind of messed up. Maybe not to the point of raising my hands with a chair in it and throw the dang thing in the telly, but no, not that angry. It's kind of possible, but some few. I'm having a problem using the word because it felt more than that, but alterations.
Well, I mean, like, okay, J.J. Abrams was clearly trying to create his own, like, spin-off universe of Star Trek. I can appreciate that, because really, like, he had to, because you can't go into the original universe because it just doesn't work. My problem with his spin-offs is that, like, with the 2 movies that they've released, they've become less Star Trek and more Star Wars. And the thing is that Star Wars is basically it's fantasy. If you replace all of the terminology with fantasy terms, it works. Whereas Star Trek is more science and logic and a morality play based. Like, it's telling a morality tale. Like, different cultures have different things that are important to them. And in order for you to understand them, you have to understand how their cultures differ and what they value. And I mean, there's more to it than just, oh, that guy's wearing black and has a red weapon, so he must be evil. It's a little bit deeper than that with Star Trek.
And then here's the thing that kind of grinds me a little, maybe a little too much, but still maybe I'm just a purist here, is, okay, they're actually using the original theme music for Star Trek in the 2 films.
Yeah.
It's slow, methodical, and spacey, but then the movies themselves, it doesn't have any of that. And with the second film, the sequel to the Star Trek, how it started, or how the intro came about, I'm like, they're actually discovering new worlds. Okay, I'm getting in this, but then when the whole Khan incident came in, I'm like, oh God, where is this going? And it's not. And the character of Khan himself, I'm actually pissed off at what they done to him, or which actor they cast to play his role, and yeah, that kind of grind my gears a bit.
Well, I mean, all I'm going to say is this. The only thing that really pissed me off with the J.J. Abrams Star Trek reboot was in that second movie, Star Trek Into Darkness, where they made Khan Noonien Soong into a white guy. Like, I was like, no. No. And it's not because I'm used to Ricardo Montalban. It's that, like, as a huge Trekkie, I know that Khan Noonien Soong is actually like in the actual lore of the actual series, he's supposed to be from India during the eugenics war, which is the eugenics world is World War III, basically. So that was the eugenics war, and Khan Noonien Sung was one of the superhumans that arose and became like a dictator / conqueror of the basically what would become East Asia, so India and that area. And he basically, like, at a certain point, he was like, F it. He's like, I'm taking my people, we're going into space, find a new place to live. And basically they didn't have high speed because this is before Ephraim Cox, who made the warp drive. So they had to go old school style, and that's where you find them in Space Seed. In Space Seed, they find them in Space Seed. They find them in that little spaceship, and they bring them on, and Khan takes over the ship and all that stuff. Sorry, I'm a huge Trekkie too. I like Star Wars and Star Trek. I'm 50-50. I'm both. Most people are like, oh my God, you like Star Trek and Star Wars. Yes, I'm both. But I digress.
What's the problem with that? That's the same thing with I love DC, I love Marvel. What's wrong with that?
Well, it's not that I like DC, but I get tired of DC's shit. Because like the thing is this: DC's heroes are basically Greek gods, right? They're basically Greek gods. And they don't have human failings. Like, I mean, they're human. They don't have human failings, but the failings they do have are just fucking insane. Like, I'll give you an example, okay? Batman, by any other standards, is a psychopath. Like, he's a psychopath. He like, the man is fucking batshit crazy, and I don't mean that as a joke.
Thing.
Like, as batshit, he's literally fucking crazy, and yet, like, they're like, and I guess in that way, it's scary to mess with someone who's completely fucking crazy. But I mean, in all, it's like, everyone's afraid of Batman. Yeah, because he's crazy. He doesn't give it. He's all out of fucks to give. Batman gives zero fucks. He has no fucks left to give. That's his thing. And I mean, you've got Aquaman, who's basically Poseidon. You've got Wonder Woman, who is she's either Artemis or she's either Artemis or Diana, which, like, her name Diana is basically, that's what they called Artemis in the Roman pantheon of gods, right?
Oh,
even to the point that the person her mother is supposed to have married is Ares or Mars in DC. So I mean, it's obvious where, I mean, she's basically a god. Superman, well, shit, he's Superman. He's basically Jupiter or Zeus. Batman is Hades, aka Pluto. The Flash, obviously Hermes / Mercury. They're gods. They're fucking gods. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, it's like, it's really hard for me to give a shit about people who are basically gods. Marvel heroes are more human. It's like they have more human failings. It's like Spider-Man. I grew up as an orphan. I was taken in by my aunt and uncle, and they raised me. Then my uncle died because I was a dick. And now I gotta man up. That's the story of Spider-Man, a dude having to man up. You got Iron Man. Like, even when he's a hero, he's still a fucking douchebag. He's like, I drink too much alcohol, bitch. I mean, I'm not really impressed with DC's, but with their stuff, because I don't find their heroes as interesting.
Love.
I know it's terrible. I don't find their characters as interesting. I know it's people get mad at me when I say this, but I digress.
Disappointed, but hey, that's you.
Yeah, that's me. but as I was saying, people just don't understand that. Just shit happens. People need to understand these things. But I like both of them. But I would really like to see Star Wars not get fucked over by Abrams. And I know Abrams has a tendency to fuck things over sometimes in ways that
he wants to plaster his own image.
Well, it's not so much that. It's just he's got his own little twist he wants to put on things. I hope he doesn't twist it so much that he fucks it up, like he did with continuity in Star Trek in the Darkness. And spoiler alert, I know people are like, that's spoiler. If you haven't watched that movie yet, fuck you. It's too late now. That movie's been out for over a year. I think.
And it's already on cable since last year. So
yeah, once it hits cable, there are no spoiler alerts. You should have watched it at this point. But anyway,
and speaking about cable, Guardians of the Galaxy is coming on cable, which is, I think it's this month or next month. So
it's a good movie.
I'll be having.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I'll be watching.
It's very good. So I would advise people to watch it. Our last bit of news. Let's see. We covered Star Trek. Let's see what else we got to hit. We covered Star Trek. How could I forget the flippity flop that happened this month. This month. Peter Pan, aka the Peter Pan prequel, Pan. The only thing that I'm going to say about this movie is that no one was fucking asking for a Peter Pan prequel. Enough said. Like people are like, how could this movie fail? Because no one wanted a prequel to Peter Pan. Like no one was like, you know what? I always want to see where Peter Pan came from.
And even if it's not Owen, there's very few people, and I mean very, very few, so few that not even the movie could rake up the money that those so few people would like to see it.
No one, like even the people that went to go see it, like I saw the trailer for that. I was like, you know, that might be interesting. And then like I went to go see something else that weekend, and like it was one of those things. No, it was one of those things where like your movie starts at like 11:30, but you're there at like 10:45. So you got to kill like 25, 30 minutes. So I went and saw the part of Pan for a little bit, and I was like, huh. Yeah, this movie, like this was like the opening weekend. The movie theater had like 7 people in it. 7 goddamn people at 10-something. Yeah, 7 people in that theater. In that projection, in that actual theater right there. There was theater, I want to say theater 7. It's like, God damn, no one wants to see this movie. And here's the thing. No, go ahead. What were we going to say?
Well, I need to ask this. Was there any other movie that came out besides The Great Cat? Yeah, that weekend, yes.
Well, something else came out, but I was watching something else because the movie theater I go to, they during the weekend, like near holidays, they show like specialty films, and I was there to watch something for their Halloween month. It was like I think it was Hellraiser. Like it was a triple feature. It was Hellraiser and Friday the 13th Part 3, and I want to say Halloween. So, I mean, I was just trying to kill some time for the shit started, and I went in there. I went in there just to like kill some time because I didn't want to sit there and like look on my phone or play a smartphone game or something. And literally, there was like 7 people. There were 7 people in the theater, and I swear 2 of them were up there in the stands making out, and they weren't paying attention to the movie at all. So, I mean, Disney, you fucked up. That's all I'm saying. You fucked up with that film. You fucked up, and it's your fault.
The only reason why I was asking that is because oh crap, what was it? Oh yeah, it's because there could have been probably a blockbuster movie that came out around that time. And yes, I'm looking for some sort of justification. But if there really wasn't, and the Great Pan was the biggest thing that was at the time, yeah, Disney, you effed up. Effed up big time.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far. All I'm gonna say is this: they messed up, and good luck with that, Fox. I can't believe this, but like the great and mighty Hugh Jackman couldn't save that film. Do you know how bad a film has to be where Hugh Jackman can't save it? Actually, I do know how bad a film has to be so Hugh Jackman can say it. It was called Wolverine Origins. Sorry.
Here's the thing with Wolverine Origins. I really wanted to like it, but
it was so like, bad you just couldn't do it. You're like, fuck this movie.
Where's the blood? Where's the chopped up limbs and all that? I mean,
well, first of all, it was PG-13 because they wanted to reach a larger audience. The problem is that you really.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I was like, actually, that really should have been my first red flag. I'm like, this is Wolverine we're talking about.
It's Wolverine. How are you gonna rate the PG-13 Wolverine movie? That's the question.
Yeah, I was like, shouldn't it be rated R or something, restricted or something? But no, it had to be PG-13. Oh snap! I actually forgot that Hugh Jackman stars in The Great Pan as, I think he was the pirate, right?
In Pan, no, he played Captain Black.
Oh,
like the main villain.
Yes,
some other guy played Hook, and some kid played Peter Pan. It was that whole movie was just a convoluted mess. I'm sorry, and I only saw like 35 minutes of it, and I was like, I don't even know where they're going with this shit.
And you know what? In my point of view, when I first saw the trailer for The Great Pan, I was like, should I be interested in this movie? I felt like, okay, maybe if they done it in cartoon, I might have been interested even more. But yeah, to be honest, I was literally confused when I saw that. Oh God. But yes, anyway.
Well, anyway, it's terrible. So, sorry, Disney. I don't know what to say. Before we get to questions, you guys can ask questions in the Q&A app. We'll attempt to answer them because this is a short cast and it's very quick. The movie talk is quick. It's not, it's rapido, as they say in Spanish. So our first question thus far, from our first few questions from Anderson Archilla. This will get me slapped, but is Guillermo del Toro a slightly overrated director? He puts a lot into the monsters, but aside from Pan's Labyrinth, he usually leaves plot holes. How about you answer this first, Triple M, and then I'll answer
it. Oh snap! Okay. In my eyes, I'm sorry. I'm not really interested in Guillermo del Toro's films because I should say that I'm really a fan of horror movies, but with his style, it doesn't feel very horror to me. I don't know. It's hard. It's kind of hard to explain. With his films, it's kind of like I'm looking at the Saw movies all over again.
What,
I
for
don't know why.
Guillermo del Toro?
Yes.
I don't. The thing. You finish answering and then I'll go into it because my answer is gonna answer your point of view.
Like, okay, call me out for being stuck in the past, but kind of like the horror movies more, and especially if it's monster movies like Dracula, Frankenstein, and all that. They're back in the I think it was in the 80s or 60s horror movies.
The Hammer horror movies with Dracula and Frankenstein and the Mummy. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, that's all I can say.
Okay, then I guess it's my turn. Is Guillermo del Toro overrated? No, I think he's underrated. The thing you have to realize about Guillermo del Toro is that he's like his films, like all of them that I've seen. Like I saw his latest film with like the ghost stories and all that shit with Tom Huddleston and all that stuff. And you look at his films and you're like, man, the monsters are really spot on. But in most of his films, the monsters are not actually the antagonists of his film. The worst part about Pan's Labyrinth isn't the monsters. It's fucking fascism. It's fucking it's that girl's crazy ass stepfather. I mean, that dude is more fucking scary than anything in that goddamn labyrinth. Any fucking thing. Look, the monster that fucking has the eyes in its hands and shit. Look, that monster, look, I'd rather hang out with that monster for a whole weekend than that motherfucker that was her stepfather in that movie. Oh God, that motherfucker was crazy. I mean, that's the type of shit you deal with when you have Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro. And that's the thing people need to understand when you're dealing with like the thing about Del Toro is that the worst people in his movies are the humans. It's not the people with powers. Like you watch even his Hellboy movies. The scariest part about Hellboy wasn't the monsters. It wasn't the demons. It was the humans who knew full and hell well that they were supporting the ultimate evil and did it anyway out of greed or for something else. That is terrifying when people know what they're doing is truly evil and they roll with it. That's frightening. And that's the true monsters of Del Toro. Because I saw one of his first and earliest movies called, what was it called? Cronus. Which is the movie's like over 25 years old now, so I'm just gonna tell you what it's about. His first movie is about this guy who's a clockmaker, who basically like he basically is like working in this place where they open up this area in this mall where he works that was sealed off, and there's a dude in there that gets out and he's killed. And the guy goes, this old guy goes into where the guy's shop was. He finds out that this guy has been alive for like 80-something years. And the reason he was kept alive is that he created this device that has this creature inside of it that you put the device on you, it attaches itself to your chest, and the creature sucks your blood. But in turn, you need to suck blood in order to stay alive. So you become basically a vampire. And the device is called the Cronus. And basically, this film is like this guy is like he goes and he saves his young granddaughter and shit, does all this cool shit, but he's dealing with all this stuff. And the thing that makes him try and stop himself from doing all this fucked up shit is that at one point, like he sees his young granddaughter and he tries to suck her blood and he stops himself. He's like, I've become a monster, and he kills this creature that's been keeping him alive. Because he was in some horrible accident and he used the Cronus thing to keep him alive. And it's like the worst part about the film is that like the monster in the film isn't the device. It's that this thing has made this guy almost kill his own granddaughter, like attack his granddaughter. And it's actually a really good Del Toro film. But my point is that Del Toro's underrated, and he doesn't seem to get the shot he deserves. Like everyone knows Peter Jackson and all those other people, but they don't give Del Toro his due. Except for Pacific Rim, fuck that movie.
Wait a minute. Del Toro was the one that made Hellboy?
Yeah.
Oh, so there is a few movies that I actually I'm quite fond of.
Yeah. So our next question is, so what's everyone going to do this Halloween? I'll let Triple M go first.
Well, in my region, we do not actually have we don't do we don't celebrate Halloween.
You don't have Dia de los Muertos?
Not unless if you're a Latino living here, then yeah, I'd say yeah, that would be a pass. But I guess the closest thing that we would do is actually just watch horror movies on Halloween.
Okay, well that's something. That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's what you're gonna do? Watch horror movies on Halloween?
Yeah, I guess you can say we kind of took that from you as the Americans.
Okay, all right. Look, I'm not gonna knock it. What am I gonna do on Halloween? I think Halloween falls on a Saturday this year. Yeah, Saturday. So basically, yeah, it falls on Saturday. So that morning, I'm going to be, or I should say Friday night. Friday night, I'm going to be at my friend's house playing an epic game of tabletop gaming, horror theme. So it's probably going to be Cthulhu Punk. And then Saturday, I'm probably going to sleep in until around 10ish, and then watch some of my favorite horror movies. Then hand out the trick-or-treating later on, and then I might do a podcast Saturday. Probably won't, though. I'll probably just do something Sunday. Depending on what goes down, probably after trick-or-treating goes off, might go to a Halloween party, and I'm going as I got the costume, but it's like one of those things where I might or might not go. I might go as Samuel L. Jackson again.
Yeah.
Well, I might go as shitty Samuel L. Jackson, because then all I have to do is just wear my black suit with the white shirt and the black tie, and just be like, "Yeah, motherfucker, say what again? Say what one more time? I dare you. I double dog dare you, motherfucker."
Now I thought you would dress up as oh crap! Now I forgot the character that Samuel portrays in the Avengers.
Nick Fury.
Yes, I really thought that you would dress as Nick Fury.
Ultimate Nick Fury. No, because if I wanted to play Nick Fury, I'd have to either shave my head like completely bald, or wear one of those shitty bald caps that don't look authentic ever.
Oh,
so
no.
Yeah, I'm not shaving my hair off because I have a head full of hair, but just in case, just in case it don't come back, I'm not gonna run my hair off by doing weird shit to it. And so the avatar you have right now is that's old news, right? No, here's the thing I've noticed. Everyone I notice who's ever gone bald from like the 80s, who had a head full of hair, they did weird shit to their hair, and that's why they're bald. So I try not to do weird shit to my hair, and it's gonna stay there forever.
Yeah,
forever. So that's what I'm doing for Halloween. Our next.
Now, if there was a possible chance that we actually do some sort of trick or treat on this island, I guess my costume would be that alien character that's on his wheelchair with that spiffy back backpack and the handgun that he has.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Uh,
What game is he from?
No, from the Alien movie.
Oh, you mean the short the dwarf in the wheelchair?
Yes.
From Alien Resurrection. Oh God, I forgot his name too. I wouldn't want to be him. I'd rather be the black guy with the dreads. I mean, I'd get a shitty dread wig just to be the black guy with the dreads. Of course, I'll have to sacrifice myself heroically to save a midget, because that's what black guys do in horror movies. We die to save everyone else, or for some stupid shit. Next question.
I thought black dude dies first.
No, and the black guy, he almost makes it to the end, and then he sacrificed himself. I'll hold it back. No, fuck that. You hold it back, motherfucker. I'm gonna survive. But anyway, our next question is: anyone looking forward to that Evil Dead series on Showtime? I'll answer this. Hell yeah. It's got Bruce fucking Campbell as Ash Lee. Shit.
I need to look at that, man.
Evil Dead. Hail to the king, baby. Hail to the king.
that. I'm not sure why I'm not interested. I think I should be, but I need to look at that, man.
Look, man, it's Sam Raimi doing what Sam Raimi does best. And Bruce Campbell doing what Bruce Campbell does best.
Bruce Campbell.
It's like Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi together again. Look, Bruce Campbell is Sam Raimi's Samuel L. Jackson. Okay? Basically, if Sam Raimi were Quentin Tarantino. When they're together, they make each other better. So
yeah, you got that right.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna watch it on Starz because I'm a maniac like that. But Starz has been knocking it out of the park. They've been releasing some good shit like Blunt Talk with Patrick Stewart, or as I call him, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Like seeing Jean-Luc Picard just go batshit crazy and like sleeping with people's wives and like drinking alcohol and shit. I'm like, damn, Picard, you have to chain Picard. Shit. Q would have loved you.
I didn't think Starz was still available, because back down here we actually had a channel called Starz, but then it just fizzled out. So I thought, Starz. No,
Starz is still around up here. I have it on my cable package, so whatever.
Sweet.
Different things in different regions, but if you have the right cable provider, you can watch it online if you have high-speed internet. So whatever. The next question from Anderson Archilla: do you think superhero movies are a bubble that can burst soon?
If it's done terribly.
Let me put it this way: I think superhero movies, as done by Fox, where they just like have explosions and shit running around. I think Marvel, if they continue to have the type of idea where like they have a genre type of movie that happens to have a superhero in it, like the Winter Soldier, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, is not a superhero film. It's a spy film that has a superhero in it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
they can actually get away with that.
Yeah. So basically, if they continue to push genres, like Ant-Man was a heist film that starred that had a superhero in it. Like, so basically, if they can continue to do one-offs and where they have like a character, like a grounded premise with a superhero in it, then it could be an awesome film. And then like all of that shit leads up to a major event where you get your superhero film. They could make it work. I just hope they continue to provide the same level of support to it that they've been doing. 2 more questions and then we're done. Anderson Archilla says, I'm going to be marathoning Troma's movies this Halloween. Am I a piece of shit for enjoying them? No, dude. There's nothing wrong.
Troma's movie?
Yeah, Troma is Lloyd Troma is the guy who basically made the Toxic Crusader, Sergeant Kabuki Man.
Oh, that was Sergeant Kabuki Man. That I know.
Yeah, Sergeant Kabuki Man. Like he's really well known for the Toxic Crusader films, but he did a lot of other low budget New Jersey films. Like he's really old school, like B C movies, but I love him too. One time on Netflix, they had all the Troma collection, like all of his films, and I just watched the shit out of all of them. Toxic Crusader, Sergeant Kabuki Man, his other films. I was like a film I remember watching as a little kid. I was like, that movie looked really low budget, and I was like, oh, that was a Troma film. Oh, no wonder. So his latest one is Poultrygeist, which is about these evil chickens, these evil eggs laid by these evil chickens that people eat, that basically like cause people to mutate into evil chicken hybrids. And it's one of the goriest practical special effects movies I've ever seen, and it's disgusting. It is disgusting, but Troma, I mean, there's something about Troma that just, like, even though it's fucking disgusting, I love it. It's like, let me put it this way: if Francis Ford Coppola and John Ford and Akira Kurosawa is the filet mignon and foie gras and caviar of film, Troma is the shitty hot dog gotten at like 2 o'clock in the morning with the chili and onions on it, and like molten cheese whiz poured on it, and you eat the shit and you're just like, I feel like shit, but this is so good. That's Troma. I mean, you're not gonna eat it every day, but every once in a while you just need that little that's Troma for you.
I'd say, Anderson Archilla, yeah, you're not a bad person for seeing that. It's more like you're trying to harden your stomach.
I'm just saying. You know, that's the cool thing about Troma. Our final question for Anderson Archilla: is Young Frankenstein a favorite for anyone else, or how about Rocky Horror Picture Show? Is Frankenstein a favorite for anyone else? I love that movie. It's one of my favorite Halloween films to watch. I'll probably watch it next week on Saturday because I fucking love. I love anything from Mel Brooks. Like most of his shit is really watchable. Even his stuff that's not a comedy, like The Elephant Man, is really watchable. So, you know,
I need to look at that again because I know I've seen it before.
Young Frankenstein, yeah, it is. Oh man, it's so good. The other character, as far as Rocky Horror Picture Show, oh yeah, I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's got songs from Meatloaf. It's got it's a cult favorite. It's got Tim Curry as Dr. Frankenfurter, who's a transvestite from Transsexual Transylvania.
Oh boy.
There's a song in that movie where he's like, "I'm a transsexual from Transylvania."
Okay, now I really need to see that.
Dr. Frankenfurter creates its ultimate, his or her ultimate creation, which is basically like the perfect man, but like Dr. Frankenfurter is a transvestite from Transylvania. So, I mean, the Rocky Horror Picture Show is just off the chain. You can see where it bombed at the box office, but it's such a cult favorite. I would advise anyone to watch it if they get a chance. So this is our final movie talk. Yeah, we buzzed through it. Movie talk is fast paced. We don't fuck around. But before we go, anyone have any Halloween movies? Like, pick 3 Halloween movies you say someone should have to see.
Oh crap!
That are horror themed, like, you know, like, oh, that's scary. That dude's face melted. It's awesome.
For some reason, I really can't think of any. I mean, actually, I'll probably say this just because I've been hearing it a lot lately, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a good one.
Okay, that's one.
Let's see. There was also uh, was it you know that high school girl that gets possessed by demonic entities. Was it Karen? No.
Carrie,
Carrie. Yeah, and not the
not the
uh,
shitty remake, the original.
yes, yes, the original.
Not the shitty remake. No, not the shitty remake. How dare you? Ah, you bastard.
Uh, last but not least, this is one. This is a hard one. Uh, okay, I'm going to stick myself out here on a limb here, but it's not really a horror movie, but quite actually entertaining. Um, I might suggest the Mummy that stars Brendan Fraser. Yeah, even though it's not exactly a horror movie, but like I said, quite entertaining, and you'll get a kick of laughter there.
Man, I don't know. Those scenes where those beetles burrow into people's bodies is pretty terrifying.
Oh my gosh! Let me tell you something. When that scene kicked in, my sister could not watch that scene ever again.
Yeah, it's pretty damn disgusting. But I guess it's my turn. What do I have to say about? Okay. This isn't a movie, but if you ever get a chance to get it on DVD, or if they ever put it on the Science Sci-Fi Channel or anything, there was this series called Monster Vision when I was a kid, and it was basically like the bootleg Amazing Stories, but whereas Amazing Stories was kind of creepy, but also like some of their stories were actually uplifting. Monster Vision, all their stories were just depressing. And there was one called the Bone Eater, and basically it's about this monster that this dude who looks like a normal human being, but he's actually the Bone Eater. And basically he has the ability to go into your body from your mouth and steal your skeleton. And there's this guy that basically he essentially is like he's looking for a therapist, and his wife's like, you need to find a therapist, and he calls for a therapist, and this guy shows up, but it's not his therapist, it's the Bone Eater, and the guy he steals the guy's skeleton. His wife comes home, and when she finds him, the guy is just a pile of organs and skin on the ground, just twitching, and she screams, and it's still one of the most creepiest things I've ever seen. The second horror film that I would advise someone to watch is Creepshow, the first one. It's got a series of stories from Stephen King, and it's fucking scary.
Anything with the word Stephen King, that's kind of
it's Stephen King. The last one is It, another good one by Stephen King. You notice Stephen King is on 3 movies from Stephen King are on our list. Creepshow and It and Carrie, all Stephen King. That tells you something. They're really fucking creepy. I advise you watch them. And with that, that's our recommendations. Happy Halloween. You might see me next week. You might not. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. And anyone else you want to say before we wrap things up?
You know, now that I remembered, should Twilight Zone be on it too?
You mean Twilight Zone the movie?
Yeah, it's the movie. Okay. If not that, then how about the Tales of the Crypt Creeper?
I actually have the Blu-ray of that entire series.
Oh,
Yeah, I have the Blu-ray of that entire series, and I love that series. The Crypt Keeper is that I remember the opening theme song for that shit. Any of the seasons of that shit is creepy as hell. It will don't watch it at night, folks. Tales from the Crypt, aka HBO's Tales from the Crypt. Oh, yeah, watch that. It's great. It's scary. You might wet your pants. It's kind of creepy.
yeah.
It's kind of fucking creepy. I'm just saying. But it did have a cool theme song. So with that being said, good night. You guys have fun. Drive safely. Don't drink and drive. If you have a Halloween costume, get it now before the rush comes in. And be good. Peace out, y'all.
Good night.